back with another video. See, I'm staying consistent. Today I'm going to be answering all of your questions. I probably should have done a Q&A when I was starting YouTube, but whatever. We have a lot of questions to get through while also getting ready for the day. I organized all the questions into categories: icebreakers, makeup, hair care, fashion, content creation, and personal. Let's begin with icebreakers. How tall are you? I'm 5'6". How are you mentally doing? With the semester starting up again, I'm pretty stressed. I'm taking more courses than usual, 18 credits, and alongside work and content creation, it's just a lot. I'm overall just stressed, but I'm not unhappy. What's your ethnicity? Pakistani, Punjabi. What is your major? I'm double majoring in finance and marketing. Business girly. I initially started with finance and added marketing in my sophomore year, and I genuinely like both of them. Favorite and least favorite parts of living in Boston. To be more technical, I grew up in Cambridge, Massachusetts, in between Harvard and MIT, and I really liked it. Living in the city just gives you a whole different experience than growing up in the suburbs. Living in Cambridge meant you had access to a lot of things even if you were low income. I lived in Central Square. I could just walk to the city and back. It was so fun. Cambridge and Boston are so walkable, which is why it took me so long to learn how to drive. Those are some of my favorite parts about it, but my least favorite parts is how expensive it is to live there. That's why we don't live there anymore. We had to move in 2020. You live in the projects for a luxurious price. And growing up there, you're just exposed to so many different things, negative influences. So many people in my high school with promising futures went down so many different paths, and it's sad, but that's the cost of being a kid growing up in the city. Moving on, what's your favorite album? Actually right here, Mind of Mine by Zayn. Perfection. Do you like Hindi songs? I like the Bollywood music. I still listen to that sometimes. New cat parent tips. Don't spend money on toys because they won't use it. I'll even argue that a cat tree isn't necessary. My cats use theirs like twice a year. Come to peace with the fact that your furniture will always be messed up. And if you can, get an automatic cleaning litter box. Any Pakistani personalities you find inspiring? So there's a lot. One person instantly came to mind, so I'm just gonna say her name. Miss Fifi's Diary. When I started content creating, she was one of the first people I followed. I've always admired her elegance, her morals, and her overall story. So she's my #1 inspiration. Of course, she's not the only one, but if I explain them all, this video is gonna be an hour long. What is your mindset for 2023? I'm kind of just continuing what I was doing in 2022, pursuing any endeavor that comes into my mind, so I don't live with regrets. This year I'm trying to prioritize me and my time more, so I'm not always stressed. I'm just attaining my dreams, honestly, and really instilling that consistency is key, and instant gratification will get me nowhere. What are your future plans, education, etc.? Education-wise, I'm not sure if I'm going to do my master's. If I can't nail a job after graduation, then I'll go for my master's. As for plans in general, I intend to keep my social media going as long as I can, even turn it into a full-time thing, but ideally, since I'm studying both marketing and finance, I want to find a way to combine both of those. My two individual tracks are either financial advisor or doing something in marketing. Still figuring everything out. Green flags in relationships. Someone who doesn't put down your aspirations and is actually very supportive of them. Someone who challenges you in a healthy way. Challenges you to think from a different perspective. Someone who can compromise, because you both are going to have to do it. The last one for icebreakers is underrated thing that you do that others should do as well. I plan out my days in advance, whether it's the night before or the week before. It's always in advance. I hate spontaneity, but I feel bad because a lot of other people are spontaneous, and then I have to shift my schedule around their spontaneity because I'm a people pleaser. I wish people just had their lives more in order. That's just me. Moving on to the makeup, hair care, fashion, skincare section. We have, are you still doing tretinoin? Tretinoin? I don't know how you say it, but yes, I am. I only do it about twice a week. Sometimes I forget and only do it once. Overall, just very minimally. My favorite makeup product. I always talk about this. The Morphe Continuous Mist. I hate matte makeup. I hate powder. I love when my makeup looks glowy and looks like skin, and this ensures that. How did you get into makeup? I started experimenting with makeup when I was in 7th grade. So like 2015. That was when the IG baddie era was going on. Seeing all of those makeup looks inspired me to begin. Luckily, my parents weren't strict about makeup, so I practiced every day and wore it every day. Up until now. The next is best products for makeup beginners. There are 3 things that can make or break your look: foundation, concealer, and setting powder. Go for these drugstore products along with this powder and you'll pretty much be set. All the other products in the process, they don't differ that much from each other. Next is how to prep skin for makeup. I've made many reels on this, and it's always the same in my previous makeup tutorials, but it's always moisturizer, sunscreen, and then primer. Those 3 need to be the stagnant steps in your makeup routine. Budget-friendly hair products for wavy, dry hair with dandruff. There are 2 dandruff shampoos that I recommend: Nizoral and the Body Shop Ginger Shampoo. Both of these have worked for me, but because my dandruff is stubborn, it tolerated those very fast. But those worked very well, and I highly suggest them. Is it better to brush your hair every day? Depends on what hair type you have. My hair is curly wavy. I should only be brushing it in the shower. However, because I'm dealing with hair loss, I brush it dry every day because it prevents tangles and less hair sheds. So just from what I've heard, you shouldn't, but depends on your situation. How to curate your personal style. You have to think about what you normally gravitate towards, rather than trends. I always gravitate towards muted colors, earth tones, neutrals, etc. Every time I wear something super vibrant, I feel icky. So it really just depends on your certain gravitations towards different clothes, different colors, etc. Lastly, from this section, where is your watch from? This is my watch in all her glory with all of the included bezels. I got this for my birthday last year, but because this is vintage, you can buy it secondhand from eBay or Etsy. So when people ask me, I just give those two options because I didn't buy it, but I know it was from those sites. This is the best accessory one can have. My makeup is finally done and we can move on to the content creating section. Why don't you make old content anymore? I assume you're talking about the family videos, the brown people videos, day in the life of a brown girl, all of that. Well, as social media changes, you have to change too. And I also realized that that content wasn't making me happy and I was getting more hate than I was getting praise for it, which resulted in my account being banned and blocked multiple times to the point where it's shadow banned now. That's why I don't use the big account anymore. And in order to monetize my content, I need to go into different niches. That type of content wasn't bringing me joy or money. I wanted to delve into my actual interests, which is what I do now. I really like this next question. How would you cope with social media pressure of consistent posts and family members judging you? Block. Block, 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 block. I have the nosiest family in the world, and knowing them, they're probably gonna watch this video and send it to my dad, and he's gonna yell at me. But like, what am I doing wrong? Really? Calling them annoying? I'm saying it as it is. I know I'm going to do whatever it takes to be successful, and to gain success on social media is being consistent. It's one of the biggest things. I couldn't care less about what my cousins in Pakistan think about me. Most of them have never worked a job in their lives. We live completely different realities. The only thing that binds us is the fact that we're related. Sad truth. Anyways, what do I use to edit my videos? I use Final Cut Pro. I used to use iMovie because that's free, but it's not the same quality, doesn't have the same features, and I already knew how to use Final Cut Pro, so I used my student discount and called it an investment. Do you ever feel like giving up because of the low views engagement on your posts? Yes. That happens to everyone. That was why I was kind of stagnant for a year, because my reckless me to TikTok was not getting any traction. My views were low, my engagement was low, so I had to start over with a new account, which is really hard when you're already up here. You start again from zero. You know how it is. But again, consistency is key, and if social media is going one direction, you have to follow the grain instead of going against it. Put your own twist on it because people follow you for a reason. There's a reason people follow Alex Earl and not some other random white girl on the internet. You have to differentiate yourself from the majority while also following trends. More so following the grain. Lastly, how to start growing a YouTube channel. So I'm still growing mine. I've realized that repurposing Reels and TikToks as shorts helps a lot, but again, it's all consistency. You have to be consistent and also invest in your quality. Now, this is the more juicy section. The personal questions. So, what were some of your biggest insecurities and how did you get over them? I'm still not over my insecurities, if I'm being honest. My biggest one just had to be my identity. Everyone around me was white. That was the beauty standard. So everything from my skin tone, my nose, my lips, my unibrow, me not being thin was an insecurity. I think the biggest thing that helped me with that was when having some type of culture affiliated with you was cool, then I was like, oh, this kind of validates me. Although my insecurity with identity has been resolved, the things about my nose and body hair will always probably live on. Like with my nose, I know it's huge, right? But the way I deal with it, or kind of make peace with it, is the fact that I really like strong features and I have a lot of strong dark features. And my nose plays a big part in that. And let's be real, I would not look good with a button fairy nose. I have a unibrow, but I always just shave it. But when it comes to body hair, at least I can grow some hair. Currently struggling with that right now, but usually I can. It's more finding the bright side of your insecurities. So, how is your current relationship with your parents? I'm whispering because they are downstairs. It's pretty much the same. I kind of just keep to myself most of the time, which is obviously lonely, but what can you do? I can't open up completely because I will get myself in trouble. The max information I can give out is just about my education, which again, lonely, but what can I say? My relationship with my mom is much better than my dad. As I'm getting older, she's gotten way better, but my dad, no. Stubborn old man. Is it wrong to distance from toxic family members? No. I encourage it. I am so happy I've blocked almost all my family members, because even the nice ones will say something bad about you. I don't know about anyone else, but for brown people, more so Pakistani people, everyone has some hidden agenda. You have to protect your peace and cut them off. How do you find desi friends with the same halal haram ratio? So I've barely had desi friends in my life. They were either kids of my mom's friends, which that didn't last at all, or there were a few I had in high school. You grow apart from high school friends, and if you haven't, you will. I didn't really find desi friends period until now. We all obviously have our different ratios, but that's not what binds us. It's more so our common interests, goals, aspirations, personalities, etc. So we have the last question coming up. I got a lot of questions that has to do with my productivity, my work, how do I manage my time with work, content creating, school, etc. Basically, I sacrifice my social life. Unfortunately, it's just not possible to consistently hang out with people when you have so many other responsibilities. I try to go to the gym as much as I can. My 4 main priorities are school, content creating, work, and the gym. There is not enough time in a week to do all of those things plus add friends. So you gotta cut out the least important one. Unfortunately, that's my social life. There wasn't really one to begin with. I usually just stay home anyways, so it wasn't a big deal. You need to schedule your life in advance. That's what I was talking about earlier. That's why I hate spontaneity. It ruins the whole flow of things. It ruins everything for me. I like to allocate certain days for certain priorities. The gym will always be a constant. It happens 4 to 5 times a week. One day will be for content creating and editing. Another day will be for studying. Another day will be this, etc., etc., etc. Like, it's just simple organization that will get you so far in life. And of course, I have my off weeks where everything is not in balance. Everything is off. I don't feel up to doing work, so then I have to procrastinate and delay it for another day, which delays everything else. A whole thing. At the end of the day, we're all human. And I hope this Q&A video showed a little bit more about me, showed me more as a multifaceted human, rather than a random face you see on a screen. So I'm glad that I got to give you guys a little more of a glimpse into my life. And I had a lot of fun creating this video. Thank you guys for watching and supporting me always. And keep an eye out on my Instagram for the February giveaway. And I'll be back soon. Bye!